to talk a little bit about music. Now, as you know, every movie needs music. It's an incredibly important part of making a film. It is emotional and it can do a lot of stuff to just enhance the movie experience. Now, when Hans and I sat down and talked about what this music needed to be, the challenge with Man of Steel was that there was a score that had been written by John Williams for the 1978 Superman movie that was pretty powerful. And the challenge that I put to Hans was that we needed to create a new experience for the audience, and that the music needed to be humble, it needed to be powerful, it needed to support the crazy action that we were going to put in this film. And Hans was really able to do all three in a really beautiful and poetic way. Now here's a great opportunity to let's just pull out the sound effects, let's pull out the dialogue and just listen to the music for a second, because I think you're going to find it really fascinating. So you can see when the music's playing, even without dialogue or sound effects, it's awesome. Maybe we should take a second and just hear from Hans himself, because he has a lot of insights on how he did the music. So let's hear from Hans.
Usually on a movie, you try to sort of do one thing. You try to sort of aim for one thing that nobody's ever heard before, you know? And then on this one, we started sort of to pile up the ideas. And it was really great, because just the whole vibe of the thing just encouraged you to experiment and feel free of, you know, the burden of history.
And I think the way we approached it and the way that we've sort of had to approach the whole movie was like, what if there was no Superman movie before now?
I kept having this idea of the endlessness of the wheat fields, the endlessness of America, you know, the thing, you know, the infinity, the sound of infinity, and the sort of the sound of flying as well. I kept hearing pedal steel guitars, but not used in a normal way. So what would happen if I used an archetypal American instrument, the pedal steel guitar, and figured out how to manipulate that into a string section? I don't know, it's just the sound I heard in my head.
We talked a lot about, you know, trying to get some of this, like, America, you know, this sort of spiritual and optimistic American thing.
While I think of the notes for the tune, I try to think of what's the sonic world we're going to pour this tune into. And that's what we're doing. We're experimenting. I mean, you know, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to stand still. So I had this idea of getting 20 drummers into this room. But I thought, what if we could get the greatest drummers and, you know, meld them into one giant machine of energy? I want the audience to feel like they're, you know, you're surrounding them. I don't think anybody's ever done that as a sound. Yeah, and we did that. You know, it was not so bad. Not a bad day at the office. The way a film works is it's you know, this family that makes it. It's collaboration. It's, you want your director as involved as possible.
Well, the thing I think that's cool is that you want to take elements from them. Yes. It's like, okay, this is the big big sandbox or toolbox we made.
Yeah. And all the people that are around me are part of this family. Sometimes they're dysfunctional. Most of the time, you know, it's quite harmonious.